Hello there and welcome to another interesting episode of the interview. Today I'm so delighted to have Professor Benjamin Kumai Gugong, who is a professor of accounting and finance at the Kaduna State University, also known as CASU. He is also the Dean, Faculty of Management Sciences at the same university, same institution. He is a one-time chairman of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, and he is a member of several professional bodies. As you will expect from someone of his academic cadre, he has written extensively and traveled widely to present academic papers, both nationally and internationally, and he has published in several journals and several books and what have you. He's currently the national president of Kagoro Development Association, which I happen to belong to. I'm so delighted to have you today. Join me for this wonderful conversation, sir.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So we'll go ahead and start the discussion. I want to start, you are a professor. I want to start by talking about the increase of fees in tertiary institutions in Kaduna State by the Kaduna State Governor, Malam Nasiru El-Rufai. Someone just like me may be curious, was this something that was done in consultation with the management of tertiary institutions in Kaduna State, like CASU, or it was just a decision of the government?
I think it was done in consultation with the management.
Okay, so it was done
It was
in
done
consultation. Can you clarify that, sir? So the management of universities or colleges decided that it was time, in consultation with the government, it was time to increase tuition for students.
Yeah, yeah. Looking at the practical realities on ground. The economy because of this COVID-19. You know that we have gone from this place, and there is need to come to terms with the reality of life, to begin to look at the possibilities of getting to put things on ground, because the cost of things generally in the market has hiked up, even though education is a social, uh, it's a social, it's not a profit making oriented kind of business, but it's a business that talks about a lot of, it's serious business that needs a lot of resources to be able to carry on. If we must talk about meeting global standards and meeting up with any other international standards so that we get the best.
But what about the timing, sir? Looking at, you mentioned COVID-19 and the economic downturn in the country, was this the right timing for this increase of tuition in the state?
Yeah, while the government is trying to do what they are doing in consultation with management and other stakeholders, up till now it has not been finalized, because the management called the meeting in the university, and then certain positions were met and some issues were raised to the governor, so that the government would look at the possibility of not really stopping the increase, but to see if it could be a bit lower than what government is proposing, what government and management are proposing.
Yeah, and talking about making it lower, it's like it's triple or more than that, looking at the current fees and what the government is proposing to implement. Don't you think that is outrageous?
Yeah, it is relatively high, but I think government is looking at it too. Information reaching us is that government is looking at it to get a balanced position with what other stakeholders are talking about.
Okay.
That's why
All right.
we agree that yes, there is need for increase, but government stakeholders and government are talking to see the appropriate level to which government can come to terms with the reality, while looking at the situation from all sides, that it must be balanced, so that both parents and government will have a balanced position, and then things will work out smoothly.
That's encouraging to know that there are talks about this and some kind of negotiation, and we hope that these talks are going to yield good fruit. Uh,
Yes.
what about students from poor backgrounds? You have been in the academic setting for about 20 years or more, and you know that most of the students that go to government-owned tertiary institutions are coming from, humble backgrounds. So, do you foresee any danger with this increment, especially since this is something that is happening only in Kaduna State? It's not a national thing. Do you foresee any danger, especially when you consider people, students that are coming from humble backgrounds that may not be able to afford these fees?
Yeah, I see a lot of danger, but again, government has made some plans to forestall some of these problems that may arise. With the new scholarship board, there's a new system whereby students can be given money on loan to pay when they graduate. So government is making that kind. There has been a system that has existed for 2 years now. Government has put in the Kaduna State Scholarship Board to make provision for students to go and borrow to pay their school fees so that when they graduate, students
Oh,
have a
all
very
right.
good
All right, all right. That sounds familiar, like something I know that happens around here. We hope and pray that people like you and some of the people that are involved in the negotiations with the government will be able to reach, a consensus that will not be too hard and too difficult on the students, and that will help, alleviate some of the problems that people have coming to school.
yeah, yes,
Yeah,
definitely look at that.
yeah. You are a professor of, accounting and finance. I want us to talk a little bit about, to switch gears, to talk a little bit about money. Universities teach about how to manage and account
Yes,
for money, but hardly
yes,
do
we
they
do.
teach about how to make money. As a professor of accounting and finance, I don't know. What do you think of this? Why is this so that you find a lot of courses? For instance, I believe in your faculty there are all kinds of courses about management of resources, management of money, and what have you. But hardly do you find a single course in the university that says, "Just come, we are going to teach you how to make money." Why do you think that is? Don't you think that is an irony?
No, no, no. There is nothing ironic about this. The issues are very clear. We have to teach financial management where you make the money, how to manage the money, and we teach the students how to make the money too. Virtually all programs now we have introduced entrepreneurship, and
Okay.
entrepreneurship is telling people how to earn a living, how to make money, and then how to survive. And then we teach the aspect of how to get the money and then what to use the money for.
All right. So that's encouraging to hear, because I also wanted to ask you a question about teaching courses related to entrepreneurship. It's good news to hear that some of the universities or colleges are already introducing, courses of entrepreneurship that will teach you how to get money, not just how to manage money.
It's, it's, it's mandatory now. It's mandatory. It's a provision from the Nigerian Universities Commission that every university, all the colleges of education, too, must teach entrepreneurship. So that while the students are graduating, they will not only be restricted to their very area of specialization, but they look at how to make money even outside their areas of specialization. You could
All right.
see students of medical students taking courses doing entrepreneurship and maybe taking courses on poultry production. The medical doctor begin to keep poultry. It looks funny, it sounds funny, but again, they make a living. Some of them make a living out of it.
Mm.
So it is
That's
part of the curriculum now by Nigerian Universities Commission. They begin to put all these kind of things and be self-employed and not to depend on white collar jobs.
that's a laudable effort by the University Commission about emphasizing this issue of entrepreneurship. Why do you think graduates, most students that go to colleges and they graduate, they get all kinds of degrees, and after that, there is usually this sense of loss. They feel lost about what to do, and usually they become stagnated. Where do you think are the students to be blamed for this type of situation, or is this something essential with the way the kind of education that they receive?
When the students are not to be blamed, but it's a systematic problem. Systematic in the sense that we have found ourselves in an economy that is not producing but a consuming economy. And until we get to a stage where we produce, the issue of job is going to be very, very, unemployment will remain on the high side. Take, for instance, there's this theory that says that where there is inflation, the rate of unemployment is minimized. That is to say, there's a trade off between unemployment and inflation. But in Nigeria, even while you still find the inflation, you still discover that the rate of unemployment is high. This as a result of the fact that we are not really into manufacturing. We prefer to be more of middlemen to go and buy what others have produced. Like at times you are surprised that you even see at times when people import toothpick to come and sell in Nigeria from China. So we have to become a manufacturing economy, a producing economy for us to get out of this unemployment rate. But again, like I said, entrepreneurship is playing a vital role because you hardly find somebody who passed through the university now with all these skills not to have anything to do except for resources. But I think government can do better when they make financial institutions to relax their conditions for granting loans, particularly to graduates to start businesses, so that it makes it easy for them to access finances to start their businesses. Because once they pass through this entrepreneurship curriculum, you discover that they are prepared, they are armed for the future, with or without getting white collar job, they will survive.
Mm. Mm.
But
Yeah.
even if you pass through the system and the conditions for getting loans are very hard, and you must bring collateral that you don't have, then it amounts to nothing. So I think government still needs to tidy up the system to say, yes, we are teaching the entrepreneurship. Yes, when the graduates graduate and they serve, we give them some take-off grant and they give them some moratorium before they start the payment of this loan to be able to pay back at the end of the period. And then they make it a kind of a fund that is recycled. So that when you give this set, when they finish, you give another set in that order, you discover that if it is well managed to a great extent, it's going to help. You see that this level of unemployment is greatly minimized.
Mm. What would be your advice to someone that is in the university or any college that is about to graduate? What will be some of the tips you would give them on how, as they plan to go into the labor market?
My advice for those that are at the point of graduation that will soon get the labor market is that they should not depend solely on white collar jobs. Even when you have the white collar job, you can still do something outside that would earn you one or two small amount of money to help you survive. Because the economy is tough, things are not going the way they are supposed to be. But you see, you have to do something additional to earn additional resources to be able to meet your bills and other things. If not, it's going to be tough. People are losing jobs by the day. Take, for instance, when this COVID came on board, nobody planned for it. Businesses shut down, people lost their jobs, and it means the level of unemployment increasing. And at the end of the day, you discover that if something drastic is not done, it will affect even our level of security within the country. Because there will be more social vices, and people will take to doing what is not correct just because they want to earn a living.
Hmm. Yeah, so graduates should not depend or rely on white collar jobs. Entrepreneurship is the key. Some people are predicting that actually entrepreneurship is the future.
Yeah,
What's your take on that?
I agree with them totally. Entrepreneurship is the future. It is the
Do,
future.
do you mind expatiating on that, sir?
Yeah, what I mean is that because we cannot wait. You see, people are doing different things. We have a lot of talented individuals, particularly in our country. But like I said, funding is usually a problem. So if government will bring up policies that will relax this, I'm telling you, a lot of people will prefer to get facilities from government at very cheap interest rates, and then invest. You see that somebody who is a graduate and is picking up a job may start with 100, 150,000 naira, while somebody who is into entrepreneurship is doing 1 or 2 business can make that money in 1 or 2 days. So why would you go to waste your time that you white collar job where you can make a lot of money here? So people have a lot of ideas. They want to put these ideas to bear in order to earn a living. But like I said, resources are there. So if entrepreneurship continues in virtually every aspect of what we are doing, you discover that at the end of the day, more people will prefer to be on their own than to work for anybody. And that, to a great extent, is going to expand the scope and add even to our national income.
Hmm. What are some of the areas of that people can take advantage of, especially in Nigeria? What are some of the areas of entrepreneurship that you may want to recommend to people that are thinking and looking at what to do?
The biggest area that entrepreneurship can be taken advantage of is agriculture. If we look at agriculture, it is an industry that can absorb virtually all of us.
Hmm.
There's space for everybody to practice it, and there will always be a market for food products. We must eat on daily basis, and somebody must produce for others to be able to eat. So if there is no production and we want to import what we are eating, then there's a problem. But if there is space and then people have resources to farm in mechanized ways, you will discover that this country, we can even live again on the agricultural assistance pyramids that we did in the past many years ago.
Hmm. I want to kind of go back to piggyback on what where we started this discussion much earlier, specifically to talk about the Kaduna State University. There have been rumors, so to speak, that the admissions in the university are lopsided. Having been someone that has been in this institution for several years, and you have held several, positions, including the position of being the ASU president. How will you want to respond to that in terms of will you say the admission, especially speaking about Southern Kaduna indigenes, will you say the admissions to PASU are equally distributed?
Well, the admission system that is being used in KASU is that there's usually a formula from JAM. You have the merit list, you have the educational list, disadvantaged local government, and the rest. This formula is usually followed, and then at the end of the day, the list is brought up. To a great extent, we have been in the system. Admissions have come and gone. I've been in the system for over 16 years. But I think to a great extent, we have represented our constituency, and admissions are usually done to the best of our knowledge. One cannot say the admission is 100%. You always find 1 or 2 people complaining. But again, looking at the overall picture, I think it is relatively fair.
Do you think Southern Kaduna indigenes have equal opportunity in this school, like other people?
They do. They do. There are certain courses, I can give you an example like medicine. In medicine, you pick 2 students from each local government. So once you just pick the 2 best students from the local government, irrespective of what their names are, you find out that somebody, a houseman that lives in Kaura local government, or Fulani man that lives in Kaura local government, can be the best student from Kaura local government. He's admitted. And then you go to Ikara and find another Christian there that is the best from Ikara local government. He's admitted. So once there are specific courses that you don't play around with, particularly in the medical sciences, they are strictly on merit, and merit is followed once it comes to admission.
And currently, what is the percentage of Southern Kaduna people in this university?
Honestly, I cannot say the statistics. I don't have the statistics of it. But I know that we have Southern Kaduna people, we have Northern Kaduna, we have non-indigenous in the university in terms of staff, students, and other workers.
All right. I want us to switch gears to talk about the security situation in Kaduna State. You are not only an academic of great repute, but you are also someone that is fully engaged in community. You are currently serving, you have been serving as the national president of the Kagoro Development Association. What do you make of the in-season security challenges in Kaduna State?
Let me point of correction. I handed over on Saturday. My tenure elapsed and election took place 2 weeks
Oh,
ago. So
oh, I
I
didn't
handed
know that.
over to another professor of fine arts, Professor Gambo Junior of Kaguro Extraction too. He's a lecturer with Ahmadu Bello University Zaria.
All
But
right. Oh,
having served,
congratulations for finishing well.
thank you, my brother. Having served for 4.5 years, I think this security situation is not only peculiar to Southern Kenya. I think it is a national issue, but to a great extent, it's becoming a world matter. There's insecurity everywhere. There's insecurity everywhere, and we are surviving by the grace of God.
Yeah. But the question is, what do you think necessitates, or what do you think is contributing to the security challenges that we witness, especially the rampant security insecurity that we see in northern Nigeria and specifically Kaduna State?
Honestly, it has to do with. I want to believe that first and foremost, there's lack of investment in human capital development. And once a human being is not trained to a level to which he can survive, it's dangerous. That is one. Two, uh, some of these insecurity challenges that we have are farmers, herders, conflicts. In most communities in southern Kaduna, when you go, you discover that the crisis will develop as a result of some cattle going into farmers' farms to eat up their crops, and then arguments will start before you know what is happening. It's happening. It turns into a different thing, and then these people will. It happens here. It's touched there. It comes back and reprisal here and there. And like I said, once there's no investment in human capital, we run into this kind of problem. Secondly, I'm privileged to be one of the co-chairmen of the Southern Kaduna Joint Peace Committee. We have visited communities. We have spoken to the people, the natives, both the natives and the Fulani. But what keeps reoccurring is that the crisis usually erupt as a result of adult farmer relationship. When their cattle go into people's farms and then eat up, and then they come and then before you know what's happening, it's becoming a problem. And I think it's very important that all communities should sit down with the Fulanis that are in those communities to sit down and come to terms with the reality on how to live. I think it can be ironed out. It can be discussed and say these are the do's, these are the don'ts, and then you agree as a people. You put a system to check all this. If we do that, it's going to go to a great extent minimize some of these crises. Or you see some of these crises, people coming from other places to come and attack. You don't know them. They are called bandits. Where are the bandits coming from? Where are they going to? Nobody knows. So these are the challenges that we have in terms of security in Southern Kaduna. But honestly, we cannot just say this is the main cause. This is why somebody is doing what he's doing. Because one is not part of them that is doing it. We can only see it from the perspective we are seeing it, while the people that are doing it know why they are doing it.
I want to piggyback on this farmer herder narrative. Don't you think this narrative is a little bit misleading, given the fact that sometimes people will be sleeping, and most times that is the nature of the attacks. People will be sleeping in their homes, and in the night they will be attacked for nothing that they have done. Will you still categorize such attacks, which are predominant, as harder, farmer clashes?
Yeah, I agree with what you are saying. But if you look at the history, before these people are come to attack, you discover that there are always triggers that must have triggered something that transpired some time ago, and then it comes back, it goes around and comes back again. These are the nature of the. So anywhere you see this kind of thing, something must have happened in the past, and then somebody left, somebody is coming back to attack as reprisal, or something happened in a different place, and then they will follow somebody to come and attack the community.
And talking about reprisal, if we are to use the word reprisal,
Yeah.
isn't reprisal supposed to be if I attack you, you come to me? But usually the people that are killed are innocent and they know nothing about any of such clashes. What do you make of little kids that are killed and sometimes in their mother's homes?
Honestly, it's an unfortunate situation that this is happening. But that is just to tell you man's inhumanity to man. Man's inhumanity to man. And like I said, for whatever reason these things are happening, one will not be able to say this is why anybody is doing this. Some people are saying it's about land grabbing, but the land is there. There are bushes all over. So if anybody needs land, let him go and clear the bush and stay there. If it is about land grabbing, must you come and remove me where I'm living comfortably to stay?
Hmm.
Like I said, a lot of things. There's a systematic failure. There's a systematic failure arising from many factors. Like I can say, the truth of the matter is that government itself has a role to play. But where the insecurity is becoming rampant, and even the government security is overwhelmed, it becomes difficult for government to be able to contest things. But like I said, it's the responsibility of government to make sure that all citizens are secured with their properties. So while government is doing
Well,
its best, I think they can do better to step up the game and see how they can protect their citizens at all levels.
what specifically will you recommend to the government?
Well, I'm a professor of accounting. I'm not a security expert, but all I can say is that government must involve the communities themselves to work with the communities. To work with the communities, like I said, if government will say, okay, how many youths do we have in these communities? In each local government, we are engaging 1,000 youths to 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 be part of the security uh, system or the security architecture. To say, look, you people will be securing your community. Government at the local government will say, okay, let us establish vigilantes or the community policing that we are talking about. These people will be trained to protect their territories, and they are paid on monthly basis. I'm telling you, if government does that, it's going to be difficult for people to come from other places to come and invade any community. You can imagine, for instance, if you come from Zambua, and then we have about 600-700 people that do vigilante in Zambua all the time, 24 hours. So where will people come from and enter Zambua? So everybody will have to protect his territorial uh, zone so that nobody will come and invade the person while he's sleeping. So government have to engage and involve the community. As a former KDA president, I knew that we work very closely with the Honorable Commissioner of Internal uh, Affairs and Security, Honorable Samuel Arwan. Anytime we had issues of justice, we called him, and he came to our aid for those that he could, and he's always there running around the state trying to see what he can do. But like I said, it's a thing that is overwhelming virtually everybody. The security situation. You bear with me that it's not only in Kaduna State. What is happening in Zamfara, Yobe, and the rest of them. Up there, they call it banditry. Uh, Here, I don't know whether it is banditry too, but all we know that people are killed.
Mm, mm.
And in some places, you even pay money before you enter your farm to go and harvest your crops. But I've not heard of that kind of story in Southern Kaduna. I'm talking of outside the state.
Mm. I want to go to some of the responses from some of our viewers. One, Maxwell Income, is saying that some of the answers that you have given when I asked you concerning the increase of tuition fees, he said that you seem to be evasive in your response regarding the tuition fee. In other words, he's insinuating as if you seem to be playing safe.
No, I'm not. I'm not playing safe as a university scholar. what I should be saying should be on facts. I knew that the university called a university, a joint university, senate and management meeting where the issue was discussed extensively. And the response was communicated back to government. So that's part of the negotiation I was talking about. So he can be talking from the point of view of being an outsider. I'm talking from the point of view of being an insider. I'm not particularly happy that school fees are going to be increased. I have words that I pay school fees for. They are reading either medicine or pharmacy. So to me, it's going to be much money that I'll be paying. But the reality on ground is that we know that Kasu was one of the least schools that was paying one of the least school fees in the Northwest. But we are saying if there is going to be increase, the increase should be commensurate, not to be seen to be overbearing. That's the position of most of us, even in the university. But I
What,
want
what's
that you said,
what's the current fee? Do you know what's the current fee and what is the proposal?
the current fee is students in the main sciences they pay about between 25 to 30, and then even in the medical sciences, I don't think it's more than 50,000.
And what's
So,
the
but
proposal?
the proposal now is 150 for arts and social science, social and management sciences, for and then for medical sciences, the proposal is about 350.
That is triple or more than triple,
More than
quadruple
triple.
of the
More than
current.
triple. Yeah.
And I think that is why you hear this outcry about the increase, because looking at the current economic situation of the country, and also to talk about increase at this time, that is why people are talking about, maybe even if this is noble, the timing may be wrong.
Yeah, I quite agree with your position, like I said, but the state government on their own have said it, and there's a policy. I know that it exists, the Kaduna State Scholarship, where they said that the students will be given facilities if they apply. I'm not justifying why government is increasing school fees, but like I'm saying that honestly, running education business is an expensive business. Like if you come to the sciences, even the reagents that are being used in the labs and the rest of them are very expensive. So government was virtually like paying for all these things, not this. I said human capital investment is very important, and it's not a business that you invest today, tomorrow you are seeing the profit. It's a long-term investment that the future will show. But like I said, government too, like I said, in the university, as responsible academics, we met the management of the university called both senate and management, and they met a joint meeting, and it was discussed. All the issues were discussed with all level of critical analysis, and it was made, and the position was sent back to government. And I believe that government is going to look at the position they are proposing. They are proposing.
Well, thank you so much. These are some of the things I wanted to ask you. I want to once again thank you so much for agreeing to be part of this conversation today, Professor Gugong.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much. For all of you that watched this and contributed, thank you once again for your time. Until I come your way next time with another interesting episode of the interview. Bye for now.
Thank you very much.